Today we'll be rebuilding a 3-inch cast iron pump. The first thing you want to do is remove the large veloute housing. And the way you do that is you use a 9/16 wrench. You have 3 3/8 bolts on each side. Once you get your 6 nuts removed, you want to remove the housing. You may have to tap on the housing depending on how long it's been assembled. Once you remove the housing, just lay it to the side for now. The next thing you want to do is remove your coupling that holds your impeller shaft to the pedestal housing. And for that you'll need 2 9/16 sockets. When removing your collar, you want to make sure you notice that the 2 bolts are facing in opposite directions. That is very important. So when we reinstall it, we put them back in opposite directions so you're able to tighten the clamp down very tightly so the shaft adapter will not slip. Once you get it removed, take a look at it because there is a key that's made into the collar, and there is a keyway on the shaft that you'll have to reinsert that too. Once you removed your collar, now you'll want to remove your impeller housing from your pedestal housing, and you'll use the same 9/16 wrench to do that. Once you get your 4 bolts off, you should be able to remove your housing, and your impeller should pull right off. If it does not pull off, you may need to use 2 screwdrivers to pop it loose. Once we have our pump disassembled, what we want to do is inspect our pedestal. You'll want to turn the shaft to make sure it turns nice and smooth. Now if your seal's been leaking for a while, it may turn nice and smooth right now, but in a week or 2 it's going to get real tight, and you may want to go ahead and replace it, because there will be fertilizer up in there now if you're pumping fertilizer or any corrosive material. You'll also want to inspect the face of your impeller. If your impeller's been rubbing, it'll have deep grooves in it, and you'll also need to replace it. Your wear plate on the inside of your pump, it will also have deep grooves in it. If your impeller's been rubbing, we'll also need to repair that. And the way you remove that is you'll need a 7/32 Allen wrench. Once you remove the 2 stainless steel screws, your wear plate will come directly out. Once you get it out, inspect it, and if it's no good, you'll just want to get rid of it. At this point in time, you'll want to make sure your pump housing is clean on the inside. You also have a paper gasket that's on in between the pump and the pump housing. Depending on how long it's been assembled, you'll probably tear it coming apart. If you do, you'll want to take a paint scraper and scrape the facing so you can replace it with a new one. Now you have your seal housing. What you want to do is turn it upside down, grab you a small hammer and a small punch. And on the back side of the seal, all you have to do is tap it, and it'll come out nice and easy. Once you've taken it out, you'll want to take your seal housing and take it and clean it up, and you'll want to inspect the seal housing. Because if the seal housing is worn or severely corroded, your new seal will not seal against the housing. Then what you want to do is grab your impeller, and you can if your impeller is still in good shape, you'll remove your old seal from the back, and to do that, all you have to do is grab it, and it'll pull right off. When inspecting your seal cavity, if it happens to look like this, it's old, rusty, been in use for several years, you might want to just go ahead and replace it anyway. It's a very good idea to do that. Getting ready to rebuild your pump, the first thing you want to do is install your new wear plate. What you do is just drop it right inside and use your 2 stainless steel screws. Now that you got your wear plate in, the next thing you want to do is take your impeller shaft. You want to put your new seal on it. What you want to do is slide the spring down over it. Then you have your shaft seal. What you want to do is make sure you do not touch the carbon. If you do, wipe it clean. And what I like to do is use just a little bit of clear lithium grease just on the inside on the rubber. It helps it slide over the shaft nice and easy. Once you get that slit on the shaft, it should move back and forth nice and smooth. Once you've done that, now you want to install your inner seal. Using the same clear lithium grease, you want to put just a little bit on the rib of the outer seal. Try not to touch the ceramic at all if possible. And the way you do that is you want to take it and just drop it in there. And with your new seal, you'll have a piece of cardboard with you. You'll want to use it, sit right on top. And an 1.5 inch piece of pipe works great. You can take it and just push it right in there, and you should feel it bottom out. But if you don't, you can always take it and turn it over and look at the bottom seal and see that it's touching the metal housing all the way around, so you have a good seal. Once you get that done, what you want to do is take your new paper gasket and just drop it in over your bolt so you don't forget it. It's very easy to forget. Also, double check your pedestal. If it has any hard movement in it, replace it. Now, we got our new seal inside our seal house. What we want to do is reattach it to the new pedestal or your old pedestal if it's still good. We'll use the same 4 bolts come out because they should be stainless steel and they still should be reusable. Once you have your 4 bolts in and your seal cavity bolted up to your pedestal, the next thing you want to do is slide your impeller shaft back over the shaft. Remember, you have a keyed shaft, so you want to line it up with the shaft on your pedestal. And it'll slide nice and easy like that. Now at this point, we're ready to set our impeller. And it's very important when you set your impeller, you do not want the housing touching the pedestal housing. The reason why is if it rubs, you'll get a lot of friction and it'll tear your backside of your impeller up. So what I always use, and it's a good thing to use, is 2 pieces of strapping material, like you'd strap a pallet down with anywhere. And just slide it in on both sides of the backside of your impeller and push it down until it touches. Once they touch, you can stand it up. Now you're ready to put your collar on. Remember, with your collar, it has a key. One side is keyed. Make sure you line it up with your keyed shaft. Now that you got your collar nice and tight, you can remove your strapping. Once you remove it, your impeller should turn nice and smoothly and not rub. The reason you want to set your impeller to the 0.06 tolerance is the closer the better. It's going to give you more pressure, more volume. The farther it is away, the less volume, less pressure you'll have. Now once it turns nice and smooth, you'll want to reattach it to your main veloute housing. You'll just pick it up, just drop it right back down over the 6 bolts. Nice and easy. If it ain't perfect, it should drop right in like that. Once you get that on, you'll want to put your 6 lock washers back on and your 6 nuts and tighten it back up. When doing this, you might want to use just a little bit of anti-seize on your bolts. That way next time you have to take it apart, it's not so hard. The nuts will come off nice and easy. Once you have all 6 bolts in, your impeller, your shaft should turn nice and smooth, and you shouldn't hear any scrubbing. If you hear scrubbing, you'll need to remove your main veloute again and reset your impeller.